This is a video that will show you how to print your certificate after the webinar is done. Now, just to let you know, you cannot print your certificate if the webinar hasn't happened yet. So the webinar has to end, and that's when you can, the only time you can print your certificate. So go to our SK Ghosh Associate website, our homepage, skghoshassociate.com, and go to training. And here, if you scroll down, you'll see a button that I just added, and it says to access your webinars and webinar recordings, please click below. So this is the button, access your webinars and recordings. Click on that, and it will send you to the ICC website. They're the one who hosts our webinars, recordings, and our subscription plan. So go ahead and sign in. So click sign in, and it'll take you to the ICC site. And here you'll see a list of courses. This is my courses, but let's go to my courses. Okay, so right down here, my courses, click on that. And here you'll see a list of courses that you're registered for. And this is also the page you would look for courses that you haven't printed out your certificate. Now, if you printed out the certificate already in the past, you might have to go to my transcript. But right now, let's go ahead and print our certificate from the webinar that I attended yesterday, and that'll be part 2. Right here is the search area. So type in the course, the webinar that you are looking for, and hit enter. And right here you can see this is the webinar that I attended yesterday. So let's click on the play button. So here I have items that are associated with that webinar. So here is the handout. So do you see the status? It's checked, which means that I've printed the handout or I viewed it. So if I viewed it, this is what it looks like. And to go back, just click this 3-bar menu here. It'll take you back to the list. And here is the quiz. Now, I'm not the only people that are taking the quizzes are the Maryland license. If you're not required to take and pass the quiz. It's 70% passing for the quiz. You need to pass 70% of the quiz to be able to print your certificate. So this is what the quiz looks like. So if you're a Maryland license, this is where you go to take the quiz. If you want to go back to that list, click on this 3-bar. And I want to print my certificate. I'm not a Maryland license, so I don't need to take the quiz. So just click on Certificate of Completion. And here, if you're a Florida license, a Maryland license, a New Jersey license, New York, you need to type in your license number there. But since I'm not, I don't need that. So I would check this box, submit. And right here, it prints out my certificate. So here's my certificate, and if I need to print it, I would click on this print button. However, I don't need to, so I'll just go back to that list. And so that's how you print your certificate. Okay, now let's say I already print my certificate, so I need to print certificate for someone else. Now you have to go through this process first. You have to print out your certificate first before you can print out someone else's certificate. So since I printed out my certificate, let's exit this course. And so now, since I already printed that certificate, that webinar is complete for me. My status is complete. So it's not going to be in my courses anymore. It's going to be in my transcript. It's going to move to my transcript area down here. So if I search for that course. I'll type in up here. And see here, I see 2 of them listed. So why is that? Because I've taken this course back in October 17 of 2023. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the one yesterday, which is March 13, 2025. So right here, if I want to print my certificate again, I can click here and it'll print out my certificate again. Okay. Do the same thing. But since I want to print for someone else, so I will click that button again. And you see here, request a certificate for one of many connections. So here I'm going to print out someone else's certificate. So here I would type in, and here John is not a Maryland license, so I'm just going to click here and then submit. And that. And so here you see the certificate. So now I need to view certificate, and you see the certificate is printed, and I'll go back to that again. And if you need to update the license, go ahead and update the license. If not, just close the window. Click on this again. So let's say I want to add another person, so I click this again, and I'll type, let's say I'm a Maryland license. So I would submit. So I'm a Maryland license, and this is, I'm added to this list. So let's view my certificate and see if we can view our certificate. Since I'm a Maryland license, I need to take the quiz. So, and it says here, professionals who work in Maryland must pass the assessment before printing a certificate of completion. So now what you do here is you need, that person that you want to print certificate for needs to open an account with ICC. So when they do open an account, that webinar course will be listed in their account. So they go through the same thing as we did earlier, where you go to my courses, and then they'll find that course there, take the quiz, and then they can print out the certificate. Now you have to make sure that that person you want to print certificate for is using the same email address that you typed in when you added them in that list. So in here, when you click on that, this is the email address they need to use. This is the email address that person needs to use for them when they open their account with ICC. Thank you.